position to maintain you. The way you got your purpose lately. Can't take you out to fancy places. Will be true to one another. To be kind and gentle, to be trouble. To do your best, but it's endless with you. To do what you want to do, what you're supposed to. You've got to feel, you've got to feel the soul down inside of you.
Today, I want to satisfy a very good friend of mine. Her name is V. Levine. Now she said, Big Stone, you did Israel Vibration. You know they suffered from polio. But there's another artist that suffered from polio. That is great and is also a legend. Could you find something on Ruddy Thomas? When she said Ruddy Thomas was a very good friend of mine. A matter of fact, as a young man, I used to date Ruddy Thomas' sister. Pick up yourself, Ruddy Thomas' sister, anywhere you are. You know who you are. So, V. Levine, I told you, your wish is my command. Now I'm satisfying your wish with Ruddy Thomas.
Rise and achievers, my brother.
Oh, it's a pleasure, man.
It's a pleasure to have a superstar like you. It's very rare that we have an artist that is of the magnitude of God.
Thank you very much for the compliment, you know, and it's a pleasure to be here.
A lot of people don't even recognize, based on the fact that they probably know the records being played as they used to be back in the days of the radio station. But you're one of the artists that have done hits after hits after hits after hits. As a matter of fact, you're one of the few Jamaican artists that have had records selling over 50,000 units, record going to gold.
Well, you know, I must give thanks. God has been very good to me personally. My career is like a lot of people, most of my fans don't even relate my songs to me. You know, we know each other, you know, we meet at the cricket ground, football ground, whatever. But it's like, you know, times like now, I'm on a television show, or I'm performing. And, you know, and when I started performing some of the songs, you know, I want to sing,
Oh, did you sing it? I did. I can't believe it.
you know, it just, you know, it does good, it does great, you know.
I guess one of the reasons for that, you're not through with the hype like the other
No,
artists. You've been here for so long
I
on the
never
top.
come to that school at all, man. I mean, I never come to that school. You never see that Molly High.
Right.
You never see Peter Touch. I mean, you know, the kind of school that I come to, if you know, you know. If you don't know, you just don't know. You know, I never come to the college that you have to dress up to make somebody know. If it's a Dennis Brown, if you don't know Dennis Brown, you don't know.
No, no.
You know what I mean? You know, we don't, I mean, I don't see the need.
You don't run stoplights, you know, you
No.
having loud music in the car, playing the records.
No.
Nothing like that.
No. You see, I am blessed. Thank God. My whole life I surrounded by beautiful people, wonderful people. You know, my career, I name the great musicians. I've worked with them.
But
Sometime or another.
before we get to that, the top of your career, Rud is a very simple person, and in his bio, I was reading a little part of his bio tonight, and there's a part that says, whenever they want, like whenever the great Bob Marley wants a stick of herb, or the great BBC or all the other great artists need any little thing, Ruddy was the kind of person that, because he spent so much time on Studio One and Treasure Island in the early days, he was known as their errand boy, you know, and he didn't mind doing it because this was like doing something for the greats and learning at the same time. Ruddy's not just a singer, he's also an engineer. Tell us about how you mix the two, singing and engineering, because you did a lot of that.
Well, you see, it's all come back from the college that we, guys like us, grew up in. Because if you notice, most of the guys from the early 70s to through the 70s, and the 80s, like Sugar Minor, Dennis Brown, Oris, Andy, Diamonds, you name those guys. Every one of us can play an instrument. You see what I'm saying? We learned that from Bob, from BBC, all those guys, because those guys come through college with early rambling and rolling on funds on Tamba Cook, and we just had to learn to play an instrument. When the early days of Studio One, when you come through the gate, right? This is a bombard with the guitar, Bonnie Wheelers with the guitar, Peter Tuff with the guitar. Somebody where they are so musically inclined that they're one playing a little thing, one, it's just music, that college. So, and once you learn to play an instrument, right? In those days, you sort of move from one stage to the next. You learn to play guitar, and you sort of segue into playing piano. You take up the bass, because sometimes, those days sessions used to be 5, 6 musicians, right? Playing at one time.
In the studio.
It's right now where you just have one person playing everything.
Right.
You have the drummer, you have the bass man, you have the piano player, you have the guitarist, and it goes on and on, the percussionist, and it's like you have 6, 7 different thought, minds going down. That's why those music still stand out today. It's like one man coming out, plugging in this and plugging in that.
Right.
And it goes
Right.
Days ago, for instance, when I used to work at Dynamic Sounds, because at one time I used to be the chief engineer there.
Okay.
Right? And I used to go to the studio from 8 o'clock in the mornings. Call the session start at 10. Reasons, those days we had to mic the drums on. When the drummer come, we spend the next hour to sort of make the sound that you hear on the record.
Okay.
Because when them go on, I would say kick drum, and then you understand? Now I have to bring it in to the control room, run it through my gadgets and get that bass drum so that you that sound, right? And they said snare, I didn't hit the snare, and the same thing. So that take a while to build that drum sound that you hear in record songs and that.
Right.
Then when the bass man come out, we have to sort him out as well and build that sound again, run it through the next acts and build that sound. You know what I mean? And piano, we have to go and mic up the piano. When they come in and bang and down somewhere, they go up and shift the microphones again. Those days it was like fun. You look forward to do sort of each session. You look forward to do it because every musician has a different feel, a different touch. So every EQ is different.
So that most of the top rhythm of the Studio One of the Trinidad is, I guess you played on these rhythms.
No, I went to Studio One because Studio One is where I started. I did my first recording.
Okay.
After leaving Studio One, I went to Treasure Island.
Okay.
That's where I started to develop the skill of engineering.
Okay.
Because there was Errol Brown, Save Errol Brown the two that worked with Bob Marley as engineer. Very early in the same neighborhood, right? And leaving from Studio One, then we just like what BBC what John wanted to do from Treasure Island to Downbeat, to Beverly's, Ken Booth, it just
Everybody's certainly, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I ended up at Treasure Island after leaving Thomas, and then we started recording from Treasure Island, and then after you grown up with against all these great guys, you have to be flexible because Errol maybe doing something else. I'm saying, Ruddy, start the machine for me. You have to learn. To start the tape machine. It would rewind it and the tape run off. And so put on that for me. And they were doing something here or attending something. So put on a tape for me. You see what I'm saying? And you have to get up and go through the machine. So as each each day go by, it just falls into place. But the key to being a successful engineer and a good engineer, the basic, you have to have that.
Is that what is the basic?
The basic is what you feel for what you hear.
Okay.
Because you can't get what's not there.
Okay.
Errol Brown and Errol Thompson, because I moved from Trinidad to Joe Gibson. You know what I'm saying? I moved from Downbeat to Trinidad, and from Trinidad to Joe Gibbs, which is the next college again. Errol Brown was at Trinidad, and then I moved to Joe Gibbs, and it's Errol Thompson. Those guys will tell you can't get what's not there, right? And one of the first things they'll tell you that you listen to the song, and from you hear it playing, in your mind you create what it will sound like before you even touch it. Right? You have to form that scope in your mind. That it sounds kind of way. When it's done, after I finish fine tuning, it's supposed to sound like this. That is already in your mind. So when you go to console and start the balance, you just work to what you hear in your mind and put it together.
I know that your life half and half is between singing and engineering, and we've just gotten a few lessons of how Ruddy started out as an engineer. But most people really is interested now, Ruddy, to find out the superstar himself, the singing part of Ruddy. The part of Ruddy that bring out hits after hits, like Mama Said, Loving Papa, you know what I mean?
Well, you see, that all started from the neighborhood I grew up in,
Okay.
which is Kingston 13.
Okay.
Kingston 13, between Kingston 12 and Kingston 13. Kingston 12 is where Bombard and Trenchtown, Whitechapel. I was just across the street, Kingston 13. I used to attend Russell School at the time. There was this big common, still there in bits and pieces now, they call it Maxi Park. They used to have this big common, that is where most of the guys used to, play cricket, play football, rehearse, play cricket, play football, rehearse. That's all they do.
That's all they do.
All they do. It's not like no way, like they have so much distraction. Waiters will come, they're gonna walk from over Trenchtown and come over Maxi Park just to play cricket, and then after them form a liquor, separate areas, and them have them slow and then start to rehearse a song. A little guy like me, coming from Russell School, music is what my whole life, from church, because my parents are evangelists, reverend, whatever. So, from church I have the spiritual thing, and, singing and choirs in church, and, in this neighborhood now, city is great, rehearsing, and, you draw as close as you can get, and, you just build up a vibe with them, and, walk with them, let's say you come on and say, yo, buy a cigar for me.
Yeah.
And you say, yeah man, give me. You go and buy a cigar, you come back the next month and say, go buy some banana cheese to me and drink something. And
Yeah, we'll take it for nothing.
you just want to learn, and you just want to demonstrate. A lot of people don't know John Wood. John Wood was one of the best batsmen.
You're kidding me.
Yeah. John Wood, sort of pursue career in cricket. He would have been one of the Western's top batsmen.
And then there were
Jacob Woods is his uncle,
Oh, okay.
Jacob Woods is John Wood's uncle.
Oh, okay.
John Wood used to put money and then 3 pins. And you'd have bowl to the whole day and can't bowl it. You see what I'm saying? And as I finish that, in the Royal Parklands, you have Bob Andy, you have Gilens, you have Errol Thompson. It was like a college, and down the street there was scatter lights. Rolling up on some
all this was going on at the same time.
Every day. I used to sit down on a Friday night. I couldn't wait to hear Downbeat program start, to hear a new Dora Wilson, a new Ernest Wilson, a new Fred McGregor. As I begin to grow, that is my own, my main focus in life. Then, my little friends, I used to sit down on the corner and I was entertaining. I used to love to sing Maria Lanza, I used to love, Tom Jones, them kind of stuff. Nat King Cole, wow. I used to sit down and just entertain man. Listen, go try this work hard and thing. At the time, I never even know what I had. This guy named Charlie, I believe, he used to live, out beside me. And he used to play in this band named Bobby Eagles and the Caribbeans. That's about 1970. I think the guy just still got the roses.
I want you to hold your thoughts, Ruddy. We're here in the studio tonight talking to Ruddy Thomas, legend in his right and everyone's right. And everyone's believing. My belief, I think he's one of the great stars of all time. We're talking to Ruddy. We're going to go for a break. When we come back, we're going to find out how Ruddy Thomas won the Winston Blake Amateur Talent Competition. And then how he moves on with his career. Loving Papa, Mama say, just to name of the top song. We'll be right back.
Them feature each other. Singers don't do
Carl
that.
the other on the stage.
Singers don't do that.
They don't give each other a break.
No, singers don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Singers don't do that. So, then again, most of the DJs most of the radio is Jackson today is the same little guy that Barnum grew in a Trenchtown and Jonestown. Some of them not being up like this color. But it's just the same mentality. You see what I'm saying? I mean, when I come home from England, I come home with a portion of apples and I make sure every child gets one. There's a guy outside that will have it.
Right.
But still don't play.
In the library somewhere.
When Bears come to Joe Gibbs' house there, as a brother. You understand? When Bears come to Penthouse house there, as an engineer working there, and when Bears come down to his house there. It's just that, if you don't have somebody who knows somebody to open the door today,
you can't get nowhere.
You can't get nowhere.
Favoritism, friends, all that kind of stuff.
You just can't
We're here chit-chatting to the superstar. There's Beresford Almonds Associate. Back in the days of Total Togetherness, the big group. But the artist of today is Mr. Ruddy Thomas. Mr. Loving Papa, they call him world over. We need a whole lot of time to really sit back.
I tell you.
Ruddy, because we still want to hear some more of your songs. So I'm inviting you again. Soon to come back on this program. Let's finish up this interview because I know the fans out there really want to hear. This phone not even ringing. They just want to hear as much as they possibly can hear from you.
What you can do, you can play track 20.
Play track 20.
A lot of people still don't believe that the song was recorded here.
Okay.
This is what we're going to announce number one I have from here. I think it's Flying Ronnie.
What's the name of it?
People make the world around.
Okay.
A lot of people didn't realize the song was
Ruddy Thomas on the compilation album, Ruddy's Greatest Hits. People Make the World Go Round, number 20 on the album. Come again. Mr. Selector, the tune of play 2-3 times in a dance hall, Mr. Ruddy Thomas, our guest in the house. Superstar singer from way back when, I'm still going strong. Let it go. People make the world go round. The selector, Mr. Rudolph Thomas, Ruddy Thomas. It's a pleasure, my brother, to have you on my program.
Come on,
next week Wednesday.
No problem.
I'll be on the Wednesday. Not this Wednesday. Next Wednesday. I want you to come back again as my very special guest, and we take into the new stuff.
Yeah.
So for those who didn't get a chance to call in, Mr. Ruddy Thomas will be in the house next week, Wednesday night, 9 to 10 with Big Stone. See? Don't touch it down. We'll soon come back.